Okay, and hello again. Okay, so how is everybody doing today? Ugh, it's just another day, 2020. Can't wait for this ridiculous year to be over. Okay, so there's a couple things I want to talk about. There's actually a couple things that I left out of yesterday's video that I wanted to go over real quick, and then there's a couple new things. But actually, I'll go over the new things first, and then at the end, I'll just go over the couple things that I wanted to add to yesterday's video but didn't get a chance to finish. So, the brainwashing that is happening. See, when we were in school, we didn't realize we were being brainwashed. Obviously, that's not something you realize is happening if they're good at it. Um, but now, I mean, we can see it happening in schools. We can see it happening to kids in schools right now. And because we are aware that they do it, it's very, very obvious now when they are doing it. And kids in public schools today are being totally and completely brainwashed. Give me 1 second. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so we're going to go over a couple things. Okay. Let me change this. All right, so first, let's look at these articles. Now, people, this is actually happening in real time, and because we notice that it's happening and you can see it happening, you can change it. So let's go over these things. Okay. Now, this was written November 30th, 2020. It's on Newsmax, Independent American, Newsmax.com. Sex indoctrination by fanatics coming to a school near you. I'll just read a little bit of it, and then you guys can go back and read it if you would like. The parents and conservatives opposing the introduction of sex ed in public schools were right to do so. Government school sex education has moved from a health curriculum into the indoctrination curriculum. RedState.com reports that school districts in California have eagerly adopted a perverse, ideologically driven sex propaganda program from BLM that seeks to undermine what children learn at home from normal parents. The facts presented in this sex reeducation program appeal only to the far left fringe politically and sexually. Brenda Lebsack, who was a teacher in the Orange County, California Unified School District for over 25 years and is now a member of the school board, has been the Paul Revere of education, warning parents the left is coming for their kids. She told Red State the National and State Teachers Union endorses Black Lives Matter in their K through 12th curriculum. Within the BLM curriculum are teachings that gender is the child's choice based on the child's feelings. These choices encompass boy, girl, both, neither, or something else. No, okay. I don't know about y'all. I don't know about anybody else, but I do know that when I was in school, there was nothing. You didn't hear anything about gender confusion because people weren't confused. You know, if you were a boy, you were a boy. If you were a girl, that's what you were. You were a girl. There was nobody telling you, well, if you don't feel like a girl, you can just choose to become a boy. That was not a thing. And by the way, I've known a lot of kids. I had tons of friends when I was in school. But I didn't know one person that was like, well, I'm a girl, but I think I'm supposed to be a boy. Or I'm a boy, but I think inside I'm a girl. Like, that just didn't happen. And now it's everywhere. And people should be very, very concerned that they are teaching your children this in school. Not only is it going to confuse children, which it is, but it's going to pervert their minds and turn them into something that they weren't. And we as parents, like y'all as parents, because my kids are not in public schools anymore, but y'all as parents need to, I don't know what you need to do. I think everybody should just pull their kids out of schools, period. But I know that's also not, that'll never happen. Not everybody will pull their kids out of schools. Because some people can't, I guess. But you should have a problem with them teaching your kids that God made a mistake. You should have a problem with them teaching your children, telling your little Sarah, who's 6 years old, that it's okay to, if she doesn't want to be a girl anymore, she doesn't have to be. So she can just become a boy, and she can become Sam. Like, this is just, oh my God, it makes me so mad because I cannot believe people let this happen. I cannot believe that people send their children to schools that literally are brainwashing your children into not knowing who they are. Like, I was taught that, you are who you are. That wasn't even a thing. Nobody ever said, well, you are who you are. You can be something, you can be somebody else. You can change your gender. That's just not a thing. And it should not be a thing today. That I am, almost positive that doesn't make God very happy. God made you who you are. God made you what you are. And that's it. God doesn't make mistakes. Okay? So if you're a girl, you're a girl. I cannot believe, and they're, oh my God, and it makes me so angry. I went to Tops with my kids, and I don't know, this was months ago, but we went to Tops, and we were walking out, and right on the bulletin board there, as you're walking out the door or walking into the door, people put up flyers or whatever. There was a flyer up there for kids ages 4 to 12 about it was this class apparently that you can send your kids to or take your children to, that tell them that they don't need to be what gender they are. They can be whatever gender they want to be. And what is this? It says wait, where is it? Boy, girl, both, neither, or something else. Okay. Boy, girl, neither, something else. What is something else? This is so stupid. And I cannot believe, and we can see it happening. Like, it's for real. And it's just, it really, really bothers me. I'm sorry. It just does. So, that's that. You guys can go and read that. It's just, this says that gender choice is a bit like the popular description of socialism. You can vote your way into socialism, but you have to shoot your way out. Once a kindergartner decides she is a he or he is a she, the entire education bureaucracy treats the child according to a whimsical choice made by someone too young to be allowed in the front seat of a car. Like, it's just ridiculous. Oh, it makes me so angry. All right. Well, like I said, you can go check that out. Sex Indoctrination by Fanatics, coming to a school near you. Newsmax.com. Okay, next. Florida moms clash with Black Lives Matter supporters in school parking lot over BLM curriculum. Now, I said that this was going to happen. I go, watch. They'll be teaching this to people in schools. Black Lives Matter. Now, let me say this before I go any farther. I am not a racist. I was not raised to be racist. I judge people on, I don't want to say judge, but I either choose to like you or choose not to like you based on the type of person that you are. If you're a douchebag, it doesn't matter what color you are, I'm not going to like you. If you're a nice person, I have no problem with you no matter what color you are. So let's just get that out of the way. So this is by John Jackson on October 7th, 2020. Another example of the country's political divide played itself out in what would typically be a sedate school board meeting. A local group of mothers and their allies, known as Concerned Parents of Sarasota Schools, showed up in force to a Sarasota County School Board meeting last night to protest the Black Lives Matter movement being taught in the classroom. Now, I don't know about you, but I have a problem with children being taught about Black Lives Matter when you turn on TV or and you see all these riots happening. You see all these buildings and businesses being destroyed. But let's teach our kids that those are good people. Let's teach our kids that they stand for something. Let's teach our kids that those are people to look up to. No, I don't think so. They wore matching red t-shirts and carried signs with messages like Taking Back Our Schools and ParentsFedUp.com, their website, which spells out their message that BLM is a Marxist organization designed to indoctrinate the youth. Which, hello, that is exactly what they're doing, and the schools are letting it happen. They also believe, according to their website, schools are supposed to be bipartisan and not push the agenda of any political party or belief system. Again, totally true. The Concerned Parents weren't alone. Supporters of Black Lives Matter counter-protested in the parking lot, meeting their ideological adversaries chant for chant. You don't get to have an opinion as a teacher. You're supposed to be nonpartisan. That's what we pay you for. We don't pay you for your opinions. Kristen Brooks, a member of the Concerned Parents, told local ABC News affiliate station WFLA. The school board was gathering inside to debate with comments from the public whether or not Black Lives Matter should be taught as part of the school curriculum. A school board spokesperson explained teachers have already been discussing the movement with students as it is part of current events. But not current events that you want your children to be learning about. I don't want somebody, again, my kids are not in public school anymore. I teach my children. But I have cousins and nieces and nephews, and I don't want them being taught to look up to BLM people. I keep it real with my kids. So my kids know and have seen the riots on TV, them burning buildings down and them breaking in and stealing shit. That's not what you want your children to become. Those are not the people that you want your kids to look up to, and these schools damn sure should not be teaching it. What is happening? Look at the bullshit that they're teaching your kids. They're teaching them to look up to BLM movement. They're teaching them that it's okay to, throw bricks in buildings and to rob stores and to burn things down and to beat people up on the street. And not only that, but they're teaching them that, hey, if you were born a boy, it's cool. You can just become a girl. That's cool. If you were born a girl, you can just become a boy. That's great. Do you not see the brainwashing that is happening right now? I mean, it's easy to see. Once you grow up and you realize and you've opened your eyes and you realize that that's what schools do, it's so easy to see it happening today. I don't know how people don't see that, and I don't know how anybody could be okay with their kids learning this shit in school. So, on to the next thing. Like I said, y'all want to check that out? Newsweek. Yep. BLM wants to get into schools. Here's what they plan to teach. Look at this. End zero tolerance. Mandate black history and ethnic studies. Hire more black teachers. Fund counselors, not cops. That's another thing I forgot to say. BLM is all about defunding the police. I mean, hey, you want to join that defund the police movement? That's all fine and well. But who are you going to call when somebody breaks in your house and tries to rape your daughter or kill your wife or do any of these things? Who are you going to call? Because the Black Lives Matter people are not going to come and help you. That's just ridiculous. But you know who will? The freaking cops. Yes, there are bad cops. But there's good cops. You know, not all cops are douchebags. Black Lives Matter is coming to a public school near you. The national organization BLM is seeking to foment a new uprising for racial justice by injecting Black Lives Matter's guiding principles. Oh boy, including concepts such as globalism, transgender affirming, and queer affirming into school curriculums throughout the country. BLM's already has the endorsement of the National Education Association, the largest teachers union in the U.S. Do you guys not see how this is all part of their freaking plan to bring down America? This is all part of their plan to indoctrinate your children into becoming what they want them to be. You, as parents, need to step in and say, I don't freaking think so. This is not happening. I mean, if the goal of Black Lives Matter at school is to spark an ongoing movement of critical reflection and honest conversation in school communities for people of all ages to engage with issues of racial injustice. Racial justice. Holy moly. So, you guys can check that out. That's the New American. BLM wants to get into schools. Here's what they plan to teach. No, I don't know how after reading this anybody would send their kids to school. This is just ridiculous. Okay, government schools are sexualizing, perverting, and confusing children. Back to what we were talking about, the New American. Oh, boy. Okay, at Chasco Middle School in Land Lakes, Florida, a typical public school like any other, boys were changing for PE class last year just like they always do. But this time was different. Suddenly, a girl appeared and caught them with their pants down, literally, as the Christian legal aid group Liberty Counsel put it. Some of the boys ran to get their teacher, but incredibly, there was nothing he could do. In fact, faced with a gag order from school officials, he could not even say anything about it. Welcome to government schools in 2019 America. Now it's 2020, but you get what I'm saying. It's continuing. As if the story could not get any weirder, school officials ordered the teacher to be in the boys' locker room while the girl... Wait, let me read that again. School officials ordered the teacher to be in the boys' locker room while the girl was changing and could have been showering. Obviously, he refused, saying he could not knowingly place himself in a position where he would observe a minor female in the nude or otherwise in a state of undress. In saner places, grown men are arrested and jailed for trying to watch underage girls change or shower. But in 2019 government schools in America, they can be ordered to do so. What the hell? Oh my. Okay, come on. How could you even want to send your kid? It's so ridiculous. I just get so angry. When the teacher refused, his life was turned upside down as school officials conspired to destroy him. So this poor teacher said, "No, I'm not going to stand in the locker room and watch this little girl, get undressed and shower." And because of that, they want to destroy him. Office for Employee Relations Director Kathleen Ann Scalise, for instance, said in an email that firing the PE teacher sends a message that we will not tolerate his behavior. The school district's lawyer, meanwhile, threatened the teacher, saying the decision might cost you your job. Even more serious, your teacher's certificate might be taken from you, to where you can no longer teach. It turns out the girl in question is what is known as transgender because she claims to believe that she is a boy in a girl's body. Yeah, because she was freaking brought up in your schools. That's why. The American College of Pediatricians has labeled as child abuse the encouraging of children to believe chemical and surgical impersonation of the opposite sex is normal. And in more normal times, it would have been obvious to everyone that the young girl was confused and in need of psychological or spiritual assistance. After all, when a thin girl falsely imagines that she is too fat and starts starving herself or deliberately regurgitating her meals, no sensible person would encourage her delusion. That would be cruel. But these are not normal times in America's government schools. Do y'all see what I am saying? Indeed, in today's government schools, simply claiming to be the other gender is enough to get a male into the girl's bathroom, shower, locker room, and more. Worse, a confused child may even be encouraged by school officials to take hormones and mutilate his or her genitals with gender reassignment surgery. Administrators may even conspire to keep the parents in the dark. If you think that sounds outrageous, consider a case in Minnesota in which the St. Louis County School District helped get a minor child an irreversible sex changed, unbeknownst to the parents and against their stated wishes. There is a lawsuit now, but the boy's surgically removed genitals are never coming back. That is ridiculous. This school helped this kid get a sex change, this boy get a sex change to be a girl, and the parents didn't even know it. Oh my God, they should all be freaking arrested and charged with assault and battery, endangering the welfare of a child, and countless other things. Like, this is insane. I'm not going to read anymore. You guys want, that just makes me sick. You guys want to read it. It's the New American. Government schools are sexualizing, perverting, and confusing children. Wow. This is insane. Okay, this is the new vocabulary that they are teaching your children. This is from United Families International. The movement to redefine gender solidly grounded in liberal academia has generated a new set of terms and definitions. Wow. Birth sex, your genitals. Gender identity, who you are. Sexual orientation means who you are romantically and sexually attracted to. Gender expression means what you do, what you wear, and how you act. Gender variant, when you run into resistance because you don't fit the expectations of others. Transgender or trans, an umbrella term used to describe those who challenge social gender norms. Sex versus gender. Sex is a biological concept referring to the biologically based presumption of reproductive capability. Sex is assigned at birth based upon the visual assessment of the baby's genitalia. Gender is the socially constructed roles, behaviors, activities, and attributes that a given society considers appropriate for men and women. Gender is a social construct that varies over time, ethnicity, and culture. You know, like I said, back in my day, boys were boys, girls were girls, and nobody had a freaking problem with it. And today, look what they are doing. Mainstreaming gender confusion. confusion. Brainwashing your children. Do you guys not get it? Stop sending your kids to these schools where they're being taught this bullshit, where they're being indoctrinated to be exactly what these people want them to be. Freaking confused slaves, basically. Only being taught and only learning what they want you to learn. This is, it is just, it makes me sick. I don't even, oh, it makes me so angry. This is the last one. The Christian Post. Gender bending sex ed curricula tells teachers to hide kids' gender confusion from parents. Look at this sign. This is what your kids are seeing, okay? Some people are trans. Get over it. These are the kind of signs your children are seeing when they go to school. Ugh. This is gross. Gender bending sex ed curricula used in some public schools, along with corresponding school district policies, don't meet established standards set forth in law. Activists and scholars warned at recent Heritage Foundation panel. As part of the Protecting Children and Education Summit hosted virtually at Heritage on August 12th, advocates detailed several efforts parents are undertaking to combat the sexualization of children and teenagers in public school systems and how left-wing interest groups are sexualizing children for their own ends. Isn't that what I just said? Luke Berg, deputy counsel with the Wisconsin Institute for Law and Liberty, explained that parents in Madison, Wisconsin are suing their school district over policies they say violate their parental rights in the case Doe versus Madison Metropolitan School District. A few years ago, the school district announced its transgender policies. Among them is allowing students who identify as transgender to use their preferred name and pronouns while at school without parental approval or notification. So, after all they've taught your kids, if, like I said, if little Sarah wants to go to school and say, well, I don't feel like I'm a little girl and I want to be a little boy, so can my name be Sam? That's what they're going to do at schools. They're going to refer to her as Sam and refer to her as him. This is what they're doing, and this is the confusion, and this is hurting the kids. I can't even take it. I mean, you guys can read more, but you get the gist. I just can't. And this is from christianpost.com. I mean, do you see what I'm saying? Isn't this the most ridiculous thing? I mean, the stuff that they are teaching our kids is crazy. It is crazy. And we are letting it all happen. I mean, we gotta stop. There has to be a point where you as a parent reach and say, you know what, enough is enough. You gotta think that this is insane, right? I mean, you can see the brainwashing happening at such a deep level these days that it's crazy. It is so crazy. And like I said, back when we were in school, I'm 31 now. Back when I was in school and I was in elementary school, like there was no, I mean, you were being brainwashed, but not to the extent that you are today. But once you grow up and you realize how the schools work and how they run, you can totally see it happening. Once your eyes are awake, you can see all the brainwashing that is happening. And these kids are getting it day after day after day. And they're being made and indoctrinated to be exactly what the government wants your children to be. And it's your job as parents to put a stop to it. I mean, how is that not? I don't even know how that's a thing. Like I said, it freaks me out. It's so ridiculous. What do you guys think? I mean, what? If you got any opinions? This is how I feel. I don't care. This is my opinion. This is how I feel. And it is what it is. You don't have to agree with me. You don't have to, agree with what I'm saying. But it's just my point of view. So, Well, that's what I wanted to talk about today. I just find it ridiculous that Black Lives Matter and gender confusion and, all this shit is being pushed on these kids, and it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be at all. But that's it. So if you guys have any comments, leave them in the comments below. I will check them out. And please hit that thumbs up button, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Um, but yeah, I'm gonna end this. So until next time, stay strong, stay healthy, stay safe, and